We're going to cover this topic today about sort of Lightroom presets, and the general theory here is you're buying something and you're sort of improving your photography, right? Supposedly improving your photography. And I'm going to try and convince you otherwise. I feel like you might know where I'm going with this. So what happens to your photography when you buy Lightroom presets? Well, you're just sort of prolonging your misunderstanding. In other words, you're trying to go after a certain result that you see, that maybe you see somebody that, uses these and you think, oh, I'm going to get there too if I have this preset. And there's nothing wrong with you guys out there. Nobody's saying it's bad that you bought a preset in the past, by the way. But I'm just saying, I feel like what's happening when you buy these presets is you're not really fostering the true, sort of underlying nature of improving your photography. It's sort of like you're faking yourself out into thinking you're improving, okay? And so you're not fostering your own creativity either, right? So you should have a vision for your photos where you're sort of working toward. And every day, you're sort of working toward this vision. Maybe you have some website that you like. For me, I love that. You guys know I love that Fantastic Frank stuff. So you want to sort of be working and working and working every day. Oh, I didn't quite light this correctly today. Tomorrow I'm going to get out there and get one more of these lighting frames and I'll just be able to make that look a little bit better, right? So you're always constantly moving forward toward like a creative goal or toward a sort of aesthetic that you're going for. Again, the Lightroom presets, they may get you somewhere, you see something, I'm not saying, but they're not. Your understanding of how you get there yourself, I feel like, isn't better. Okay, so if you are gonna go and out and buy one of these presets, or if you have bought one, what I would advise is go ahead and go ahead and get in there and study it. Right, all the settings are set up for you, so get in there and study it and see what happened. What is truly at the heart of improving your interiors work, and we've already talked a little bit about this, and it's lighting, right? That's where it's at. Absolutely. If you have that starting point in this beautiful colors and consistency in your colors, because that's what happens when you light photos properly. You sort of kill the ambient light and then you put your own daylight balanced light in there. It's all very consistent and the contrast is there. Don't forget, our lights or the sun, our photographic lights or the sun give us the absolute most contrast possible. It depends on the size of the hotspot or the size of the light source, but I would say in general we can say that our own lighting is going to give us maximum contrast. Okay, and you can even play with that, like when you're bouncing your light, you can get a little bit closer to the bounce spot and that'll give you a little bit more contrast. It might give you a little bit more shadows you don't like, but you can play with contrast in that way, okay? Also our directionality, right? We can play with that with our lighting. How can we get the light so that it looks like it's coming from the window? Okay, and you guys jump over to my website, PECE Photo. I have classes about this stuff. But anyway, you can make light come from where you want it, not from where it's naturally coming. That's obviously not always the best, okay? And we're just in general getting superior starting points. And I want to jump in and back into Lightroom and jump over here. Let's see if we can find it. And I had this photo over here, and what I mean when I say superior starting points is that if you can see this photo here, it's just an ambient frame, and I mean it's not looking too bad. I've went ahead and I've reset it all to the and if you can see, let's see, I can pull down the highlights. Let's just play with this a little. The light's on, so that's going to mean we're getting a little bit of light pollution in there because I'm having to, I'm sort of having to, I'm letting the light light the room, so this is going to get a little bit out of control, right? Because I'm letting the natural light light the room. So the light, that's one of the big drawbacks of not lighting your stuff. So we're going to get in here and do our best. We're going to go ahead and do the white balance too. And I'd say you want to white balance something off that's predominantly being lit by the major source in the room. So that's right in there. And again, I might want to change that a little bit, but it's looking good. And again, contrast. And the point here is, I think you're going to see, even if I adjust this all day, and there might be, better examples of this. In other words, let me go for some clarity here, and let me go for some vibrance. And in my opinion, what tends to happen with photos lit by ambient is you start playing with these sliders to a greater extent, which ironically, I'm telling you, I don't think you should play with them too much. You know what I'm saying? And let's go ahead and get over to the one that I lit. So I lit this one, and the big assertion I'm going to make here is that you can push your files a lot farther. Okay, you can push your lit files a lot farther. That's because they're such cleaner files. All right, they're just, look at this. I feel like I can use these sliders still, kind of the same kind of thing I was doing before, but I feel like I can really push this, like even the clarity if I wanted. Do you see that? If I was doing this same stuff with the ambient file, I feel like it would sort of fall apart a lot quicker. So the real point here is you have such a cleaner file lit by sort of light from our photographic lights, right? Our daylight balanced lights. It's really going to allow us to push the sharpening, the contrast, the even things like the noise is going to be a lot better. So overall, your files are just going to be a lot higher quality when you light them, okay? A Lightroom preset isn't going to really do anything for you for that, right? You're going to be pushing your files, and you're going to move in there, and you're going to see that, you know, there is actually a lot of noise in there and stuff like that, right? There is more noise, okay? This file that we've lit is going to have much less noise, okay? And so I hope you can see that, even though that wasn't very scientific, I hope you can see you can just push your files so much further when you're lighting them, and that's because you have that really nice clean light in there, okay? So we have superior starting points. In other words, if you have this creative goal where you want to use a lot of vibrance, or you want to use a lot of the white slider and sort of sliding back and forth and blowing out those whites, you have a lot stronger of a starting point when you use that lighting, when you use flash, okay? But I'm saying forget Lightroom presets and concentrate on improving your lighting skills. That's really where everything lays as far as improving your photos and your photographic abilities, okay? So presets are giving you a false impression that you're improving. They're just sort of, it's just sort of like a fugazi or fugazi. They're just giving you something you think you're improving, but it's kind of like that whole story about the guy who either gives somebody a fish or teaches somebody how to fish, right? And they can fish for the rest of their life. So you're just receiving a single fish when you use these Lightroom presets that you bought. So I'd say understand the Lightroom sliders and try to control your own photos and tailor them to what you want, what your vision is. Are you going for something really clean? Are you going for something that's really warm and sort of a warm, you know, lit look that's going more lit by the interior lights? Whatever it is that you're going for, go ahead and go for it on your own though, right? Like on your own. Okay, that was the point of that. All right, so I lost my place in the in the slideshow. Let me get back there. And that was it though, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps some people out there. I hope it helps you get in there and really try and understand your sliders and just get a better understanding for it, and that's going to serve you well for the rest of your career. And try and stay away from that temptation to buy these presets. I think that's a bad idea for photographers in general, especially you guys who are just getting into this stuff. I really do. I feel like that's not the way to go. And thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.